Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and today is my update for my Pandit palette. I have a very exciting update for you today, but first I would say I'm going to show you how I started this project, how my palette has been looking throughout the updates, and then you will see how it is looking like today. Now, as you can see, I have some major progress in this palette. First of all, I was able to use a base completely. So the matte cream eyeshadow is completely used up. I only had the tiniest bit left here in the right bottom corner, and it's completely empty now, and I'm so happy with that. Then the shade Summer, I could expand the pen quite a bit. I have to say I loved using it lately because I loved combining it with Passion. I put Passion all over my lid and then Summer on the inner part of my mobile lid. So it's a perfect warm toned look and I loved it so much. Then Rose Gold, I was able to hit Side Pen, which is so exciting. It's the first of these three shimmers that I could hit Side Pen. I was expecting to hit Side Pen in Dazzling before Rose Gold, but I just used it so much. I love this eyeshadow. I especially love it for deepening up the outer corner or just adding something very exciting duochrome with a deep base. It's such a beautiful eyeshadow. I still love it so much and I cannot wait to reach for it more. So I really feel like I'm on a good way with the shimmers here and especially with Rose Gold. So my goal is to finish up the two top corners here and then only have half of it left. So that's my goal for the next round and I hope I can do it. My goal for Summer is to also maybe just expand the pen or to even hit Side Pen. I think I could hit Side Pen in the top here because it's getting really thin up there. So I feel like I could hit Side Pen in the top. So we will see until the next update. Then Celestial, I feel like is another one that is so exciting for this update because I used up almost all of it. Now I only have the tiniest bit left here in the right bottom corner. As you can see, it's the same as with base. I also only have it left here and I'm definitely going to finish it until the next update. I just didn't want to rush it too much because I really enjoy this eyeshadow. And I have found one of my favorite combinations in this palette, which I'm so sad that I just recently found it and that I never thought of it before because I feel like it would have given me so many beautiful looks, but I just didn't think of it. So my favorite look is to put Soul all over my lid into my crease, then buff it out with a matte cream eyeshadow or white eyeshadow, and then put Celestial all over my lid and top it above of Soul. And together they create a beautiful periwinkle purple duochrome that is deep enough for all over the lid, but it has this beautiful purple sparkle from Celestial. So this combination is so beautiful. I'm going to swatch it for you. And it just looks stunning. So I love this combination and I'm going to continue to use it this way. So I feel like that's the way that I'm going to finish Celestial. Then Dazzling is another one of my favorites. It's such a beautiful eyeshadow and I still love using it on my lower lash line but also on my lid. And it's just a beautiful eyeshadow. I like it more than Summer because the tone of it is better for my skin tone. So Summer, I don't know, pulls sometimes a bit orange, even if it looks so golden in here. So if I go for warm tones, Dazzling is the one to go for me. So I really enjoy this eyeshadow and I expanded the pan quite a bit. I used it a ton and I feel like I can definitely hit Side Pen until the next time, or I just continue to, use up even more of the pen and even more, and then just have the sides left. So I haven't decided yet what to do, but for now I'm really happy with where I am with this eyeshadow. Then Drama is another one that I'm so excited for, because I can't believe that I was able to hit side pen earlier in this one than in the other shimmers in here. It's so crazy to me that I use up so much of this eyeshadow, but I really used it every time I wanted to have anything that deepens up my outer corner. I just use it all the time. And I feel like now I have found the way that it's the easiest to work with this eyeshadow, which is to take a pencil brush, so a bit one that is a bit fluffier, not a totally flat brush. So it has to have a bit of a body. And then I pick up some of the eyeshadow and then I spray it with a setting spray. Otherwise I have just too much fallout. And then I apply it, and then I pick up a bit more so that it's not totally wet. And then I apply even more of that on top of the first layer. And then I can beautifully buff it out with a bit more of a fluffy brush. And sometimes I take some of the mattes in here to buff it out. And it works so perfectly, and it just looks like a dark gray to a black. And then it has this tiny bit of a purple sparkle throughout it. So it's beautiful. I have found a way to use it a lot, and that way I also use a lot of the eyeshadow at a time. So I feel like that's why I'm going so fast with this one. And I'm very excited because I was the most worried about this one. So I'm excited for it. I think that maybe I can use up the top corner until the next update. That would be amazing. I feel like if I could do that, then I feel like we're definitely going to finish it until the end of this project. So I feel very confident now that I can finish up the whole palette until the end of this project. So we will see. The end of the project is in December. I feel like if I cannot make it work, that I can truly finish the whole palette until the end of the year, then maybe I'm going to expand it for, another week into January. So I would really want to finish this whole palette no matter how long it takes. But my definite goal is to finish it until December or in December. That would be perfect. I would love to finish it before Christmas, but I'm just not sure if I can do that. So we will see. Then next is Soul, and as you have seen, this is my favorite way of using it, especially on the lower lash line. I have found that it looks so beautiful on its own or topped with the lash gel. So I feel like the way to go with Soul is to either combine it with some other shades. For example, I did combine it with Passion, and it makes Passion just look like a dark plum shade. So they look combined, they darken up a bit, and then they look more plum, which is beautiful. So I feel like that's a combination that I'm going to use a lot in the next weeks. And then I also did mix it with Volatile, and pretty much the same thing happens. They deepen up when I combine them, and then they create this more, more bluish, purple leaning, grayish shade. So it's a beautiful, a bit darker outer corner shade for me. So that's also a way of using these two. And the other way is to use it on my lower lash line, because I feel like it gives the lower lash line the tiniest bit of color, but it's very deep and it's very cool tone. So that's perfect for me for every day. So I feel like that's a way that I can use Soul a lot more than before. And I feel like I have really flattened the pen, and I could also expand the pen. Then next we have Incense. I feel like this is one that I can finish easily, especially because I can use it in different ways. One is to use it in my crease and to buff other shades out in this palette, and if I just need an easy, neutral, a bit warm leaning crease shade, this is the one I go for. I just don't use anything else from my collection. I really have to use this one every time I need a shade like this. So that's just one thing I have to remember. And then the other way I can use it is as a bronzer, because it works really well on my skin tone. So I feel like if there is a point where I'm not sure if I can finish the whole palette, I'm going to start using this one as a bronzer again. And then this one here, if I have a very light hand, I can use it as a blush. So I feel like these two I can make work no matter how. So At first, I feel like I'm going to just use them as eyeshadows for the moment, but if I feel, a bit concerned how the project will end, I'm going to start using them on my face again. So these two are beautiful. This one here, I could expand the pan, and it's really also flattened the eyeshadow here in the pan. So I feel like I have really good progress. We're on a good way. I feel good with this eyeshadow. I will just continue. I think that with this one, I'm not going to hit side pan, or it's not a goal of mine, but I want to evenly expand the pan in this one here. Then in Love, I feel like I have huge progress. Like in Rose Gold, I was able to hit side pan here on the top, and I could expand it quite a lot in the last weeks. And one way to use it is just if I use Passion and then Summer, so this look that I did multiple times, then I also used Love to kind of buff out the edges of Summer, and it gives it the slightest bit of pink, which is what I prefer, because in general I'm not a big fan of pink eyeshadow. So I have to say, if I wouldn't have to use it up, this is an eyeshadow where I feel like I would use it sometimes in a year and then I would forget about it for weeks and months, and then if I ever want to reach back into a pink eyeshadow, I would use it again, but it's not something that I would use so regularly as I do at the moment. So I feel like with this one, I really have to be creative to get my use out of it. So I was going very strong with this one because I felt, I felt a bit concerned about how I can really use it up. So I'm really happy with the progress, and I feel like I want to continue working on this one, maybe more than on the other ones, because it's a shade that's not so easy for me to use. So I feel like I really have to have a plan for this one so that I can really use it up. So one point is that I think I will be using it as a blush from time to time, but I have to be very careful because it's so pigmented. So that's not something that I really want to do all the time, so maybe just sometimes. But as a transition shade or more like a buffing out shade, it's really beautiful. So I think for the moment I will continue doing that. And then next we have Volatile, which is one of my favorite shades in here. I have already expanded the pan a bit, and also I could flatten the edge here on the top. So I think I will be able to hit side pan until the next update here in the top again, because it's already so flattened out. So I think it only takes me a few uses more and then I will be able to hit side pan here. So this is one where I'm not very stressed about because I know I can use it every day, but I have to say I haven't used it that much lately, and I think it's because it's a bit dark and it always darkens up when I use it, and I often want to have something a bit more lighter and easier when I start a look, but I love it for deepening up the outer corner and especially for combining it with Soul or with Passion. So that's another way to kind of create a deeper matte eyeshadow from this palette, is to combine these two, and then I get just a bit more of a cool toned burgundy shade than it is if I use it just straight up out of the pan. So I love mixing these two, and they darken up again together when I combine them, and that's beautiful. So I think that's a way that I will be using those two together again. And then the other thing is to combine it with Soul, as I mentioned before. So there are plenty combinations that I can do. I also combined it with Eccentric one time to just make this one a bit more cool tone, and it worked also very well. So I feel like that's also something I'm going to do. So let's talk about Eccentric. So my least favorite shade in this palette, as you all know by now. It's very hard for me to use because it's so warm tone. It just doesn't look good on me. I don't like the look of it on my eyes. So it's just a taste thing. The eyeshadow is beautifully performing, so nothing bad about it. It's just the color that's not my perfect color. I'm trying to incorporate it into looks where I don't really feel this eyeshadow, but it's good that I have it because sometimes I just want to lay down some eyeshadows as a base and then I start topping it with shimmer eyeshadows or with some more sparkly eyeshadows or with something to deepen it up, and so it's not so prominent in a look, and that's the way to go for this eyeshadow for me. So I could expand the pan a tiny bit. I did use it a few times and I'm going to continue with that. Then Passion is one that is a bit harder for me also to pan because it's very pigmented. It's a beautiful eyeshadow. The formula is amazing on this one. It's so stunning. I love this tone on me, but it's so pigmented that I cannot use a lot of it at one time. So I feel like it just will take me to continue to use it very regularly so that I can get a lot of use out of it. So this one here, I really have to concentrate on using more. And I feel like by combining it with Volatile and with Soul, I can get more use out of it than if I would just use it on its own. So that's the way to go with this one here. So this is my update, and usually I would show you my looks now that I've created, but there went something wrong with my memory card and I lost the footage. I'm so sorry for that because I created so beautiful looks. I want to show you a palette that I combined a lot with this palette. So when I really try to go hard on the mattes, I really use them every day as the base of my look, and then I take other eyeshadows or other palettes and put them on top of these eyeshadows, and that way it transforms them totally, and I feel like I'm using something else every day and not the same all the time. So that's really exciting to keep me motivated on this palette. So I want to show you a new palette from my collection. I got it for my birthday, and it's from an indie brand called Incense. It's this palette here. It's called the Norns palette, and it has so many beautiful sparkly eyeshadows. I hope that you can see it. So I just wanted to show it to you because it's so beautiful, and these are all super sparkly duochrome toppers. This one here as well, this one here as well. This is so amazing. It's like shifting from a red to a green, and it's very sparkly, and then this one as well. So I really loved combining this palette with my Pendant palette. So it was the perfect addition because it has so much sparkle going on in this palette and so much crazy duochrominess that it was so perfect to pair them, because I felt a bit bored with my Pendant palette, as per usual. That happens sometimes in a month, and then I had this one to really spice it up and get me excited again. So it was the perfect combination. I just wanted to share it with you. And I think what I'm going to do today, and maybe now every time that I update you, I want to start building a little companion palette for this palette here that I can use together in the month. Maybe not the whole month, maybe just a few weeks. We will see, but I want to build a little companion palette that kind of renews this palette for me, and that really is dedicated to be a companion for the shades that I don't have anymore in this palette, that I would need with this palette, that I know that just, keep me reaching for it a bit more. So I would say let's hop right into building a little companion palette. So I have zoomed out a bit. Here is the palette that I'm going to build into, and here is my Pendant palette, just so that I see it and that I know what I want to pick for this one here. So I would say one thing that I totally need is a matte white eyeshadow or cream eyeshadow. We will see something very light, bright and matte. Then I need an inner corner highlight because I don't have anything in here. And then the other thing I really want is just some beautiful sparkly topper eyeshadows to kind of, spice up this palette again. So kind of the same thing that the Incense palette did for me, but just in a single version. So one thing that I want to start with, I think, is my Natasha Denona Gold palette, because there are some beautiful sparkly topper eyeshadows in there. I think the ones that I want to pick from here that are the most sparkly are this one here, it's called Sparks, then Kava, this one here, and Aurora, this one here. I love these three. And then maybe I also want to pick out the dark brown from here, maybe the dark blue, and maybe one of these because they're so beautiful. So we will see. I just will pop them out and put them in my little palette. Okay, now I do have 5 eyeshadows. I think I'm going to take one more, and I'm debating on if I should take Lime Chrome or Brass. Brass is a beautiful, stunning golden topper, and Lime Chrome shifts to a beautiful, very strong green. I think I want to go with Lime Chrome today. You know what? I'm also going to take Brass because I just cannot leave it behind. So this is it. That's all from the gold palette. So I did rearrange my eyeshadows again after the last time I did it. So I do that quite frequently, more than you think. And in this palette here now, I do have quite a number of my Chitty Glow shadows, but not all of them. And then also all of my Cleonut eyeshadows here. Now I just have put my Norvina palette to the side. I can see it, but you can't, but I think it's okay for now. So I definitely want to take Blaze. It's one of my favorite eyeshadows of all time. It's from Cleonut. I love it so much. It's so beautiful. It shifts from a pretty yellow toned gold to a copper to a pink to a bit of a red. It's beautiful. And then, I don't know if I want to take one of these, although I feel like Ripple would be really good with Soul together. So maybe I take this one. And I think that's enough. I don't need some of the other ones. And then from my Shady Glow eyeshadows, I think I want to take this one here, which is called Rich, I think. No, it's called Loaded. It's a beautiful, kind of a silver toned gold. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's maybe like a champagne, a dirty champagne. That could also be it. Yeah, it's a cool toned gold. I don't know how else to describe it. It's pretty unique in its tone and it has a ton of sparkle. Let me just swatch it. So I think that you can't really see the sparkle in it in these lights, but it's so beautiful. Okay, I'm taking this one. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I think I want to take Opal or this beautiful lavender shade. I think it's called Lavender. You know what? I take this one. I feel like I haven't used it a lot in the last week, so maybe I can get some more use out of it. It's beautiful lavender shade. Let me swatch it for you. It's so stunning. It has a lot of sparkle. It's a bit more on the sheer side, but maybe I can also top it on top of Soul and get a similar effect than with Celestial. So now I feel like it's enough with sparkly toppers because I mean I have already so many of these and then these two, so I feel like that's enough, but I want to put some more mattes in here. By the way, I don't know if you have seen this palette before, but it's new. I bought it secondhand. It's from Tarte and it has this beautiful, beautiful mermaidy scale and yeah, I love it. It's stunning. It's a bit out there, but I do really love it and the quality is amazing. So in this palette I do have all of my cool tone eyeshadows and I think I want to take the white matte eyeshadow from here. It's from Makeup Geek and it's called White Lies. You know what? I think I'm taking one of the dark grays here. I think I'm going with this one here. It's from Sydney Grace and it's called Somber. Yes, Somber. So I think that could be good. And then this one here is an inner corner highlight from the original Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. And it's called In Light. And it's just a pearlescent white eyeshadow. So just an inner corner highlight. I think that's good to go. And I think that that's enough, to be honest. I don't think that I need anything else in here. I feel like I have everything that I need. Maybe I'm going to rearrange it a bit. Let's see. Let me just play around with this a bit and rearrange a bit and then I'm going to swatch them for you. Okay, so because I have some space left in here, I've decided to pick one more Cleonut eyeshadow. This doesn't look like a lot, but it's a beautiful duochrome. It has a strong pink shift and this one is called Luminaire. Okay, so this is what my companion palette is going to look like. I do love it. There are some of my favorite eyeshadows in here that I truly love at the moment. This one here, these two, these three here, this one. So, and then just some things that I need every day. and then some very special eyeshadows that I want to use more. So I feel like the combination here is perfect. So I think that instead of swatching all of them for you, I'm just going to swatch some really fun and beautiful color combinations for you. So I know that I'm going to use Love together with Blaze. It's so fun because from where I'm sitting, it looks totally golden, and in the viewfinder it looks pink. So I feel like this will be a very fun combination, and then I can also, you know, deepen it up with Passion, and that's a beautiful look for me. Then I think another combination that I want to do is Soul. Together with Ripple. And you can see it has now the dark base from Soul and then this very iridescent shine on it. Oh, that's beautiful. I think I will also maybe put this combination on my lower lash line a lot because it's stunning. Oh yes, I love that. Okay, then another combination that I want to try is Volatile. You can see it's very deep. Then I think I'm going to deepen it up with Somber. And then I think I want to add Aurora from the Natasha Denona Gold palette and just top them both off with it. I love this shade from the Natasha Denona Gold palette because it just, you know, it has a bit of a deeper base, but it's pretty sheer still, and then it adds just a ton of blue sparkle. So one combination I'm going to do is I'm going to take Incense, and then I think I can just maybe deepen it up with this one here. This one lightens up quite a lot, but you can build it up to deepen it up. It's a beautiful, very strong blue. And then I think I can use Brass on top. It's this beautiful gold. And then I can just top them both with Brass. Love this combination as well. I feel like with these two palettes now I do have endless options, so I think it's great. So one more closer look and then also one more look into my Pandit palette. I'm very excited for this update. I hope that you're too. I'm so close now. I feel like that I can, you know, I can see the goal. So I can see the finish line. So we will do it. Let me know down below if you have a Pandit palette and how it is going for you. And then thank you all so much for watching. I wish you all the most beautiful day.